What's up, guys? I'm back after a long break, and I'm trying to get back into the swing of things because I know people have been wanting me to make content, and it has been getting a little tough because I'm getting a lot of new clients right now. And whenever I get a new client, I like to spend extra amount of time with them just so I can learn their style and their way of doing things. So it has slowed me down quite a bit making content for you and showing you little tips and tutorials, and that's on me because I have to make the time for things that I want to do, and that is creating different pieces of content for the people that follow me, the people that follow me on other platforms for sure, because this is still a new page. But ultimately, I'm trying to get myself comfortable with a schedule of content creation so that when I am creating things, it doesn't feel overwhelming for me and I still have time for myself. So ultimately, that's a good segue into this topic, which is, are you ready for the amount of work that you're going to get as a creator? Let's get into it. I'm going to sit down. I thought I wanted to stand up, but I'm realizing I don't feel like standing up. Are you ready? I ask that question generally because I know a lot of people who follow me and they admire the work that I do or the equipment that I use, and they want me to teach them how to use it, how to film, how to take pictures, different lenses, like what shutter speeds mean, the whole nine behind it. And in order to make content for YouTube or any channel, it takes a lot of work, especially when you want to be good at it. So I admire a lot of the creators out there now who are making YouTube constantly and consistently, putting out great work, reviews, all that stuff, because it takes a lot of time to do it. And with that time, you start doing less things for yourself and more so for your audience. And I think that's where I am right now. A lot of times when I was starting out, I would try to push myself to becoming the great YouTube creators, and I wanted the subscribers and all that stuff. But what I'm realizing right now, from getting back from my work trip in Cabo, it was one of my first work trips, so I'm excited for this new era. I don't really have as much time as I thought, because as soon as I got back, I had to get right back to work. I didn't even have enough time for a day off or just some time to sit and recollect myself so I can rejuvenate my creativity and my energy, because without those things, I'm no good to my clients anyway. So pretty much I'm getting off of a 4 or 5 day work trip just to come back and hit the ground running again. And with that comes a quick burnout. So now I'm not able to create for myself, which means I don't make YouTubes, or I can't make tutorials, or I can't make my curriculum on how to utilize camera operation and lenses, and just kind of teaching people how to do this. And that sucks because ultimately I feel like I took a long time to learn a lot of creativity and practice to get to where I am now, where I have people reaching out to me asking me for advice, and that it blows my mind sometimes because I still feel fairly new to this industry. But obviously I'm doing something right for people who want to learn from me. But with that being said, when I don't have enough time for them, or to create, or even just to hang out with my peers, to just go and do something random, it takes a toll on you, because I didn't want this to become a job anyway, and it became one just due to COVID and things shutting down. I lost my job, so I had to start doing this full time. Now I don't have enough time to create because I'm starting to become well known in my area. I'm starting to get a ton of clients, which I'm not complaining about because I got to pay the bills. But now the one thing that I truly enjoyed, the hobby that I loved, which is photography, I don't even have enough time for. And that is a bummer, because if I'm always around the camera and I don't have time for it. So it's the weirdest thing. Like, I'm using this tool every day to make content for other people, and I can't stop and do it for myself. So now that I'm in this lane, And people are asking me questions like, how do you get to that level where you're just always busy? And, I want that many clients and yada, yada. Good question to ask yourself is, do you even have time for it? Like, just picture the amount of clients that you want to, given if this is even something you want to do. But if you wanted to, say, just be constantly busy with clients all the time, do you have enough time for it now? Like, what does your schedule look like right now that you think you can handle 30, 40 new clients coming at you all at once? Because that's what happens when your name gets out there and you start getting all these referrals. I promise you, my phone sometimes just does not stop going off, even in the middle of a shoot, and I have to just be on top of it. So now I'm thinking to myself, okay, how do I make time? How do I make time for myself? How do I make more time for my family? How do I make time to enjoy this thing that I love so much and want to make a hobby with again? It went from hobby to business and no longer a hobby. How do I do that? So I think here are my 3 takeaways on what to do so that you don't fall into a rut or lose passion behind camera work if you are a creator. 1 is make time for fun camera projects. This ultimately means you might take a pay cut. You might end up doing something that doesn't pay you the most, but it's fun to do, because as soon as you start to remember and pick up on those fun, energetic moments while you're shooting that thing, it's going to just rejuvenate you and want to get you back out there to do things for yourself. So if you're a hobbyist and you like going out into nature, taking pictures of birds and mountains and just wildlife in general, maybe you should do something outside. Maybe you should take a little break away from corporate or photo studio style things and really get back into nature, somewhere that's going to take you outside, let the sun on your skin, and just enjoy fresh air. My second takeaway is make more time for learning. For me, the busier I got, the less that I learned. Why? Because people liked what I did, and because they liked what I didn't stretch myself to learning something new or bringing a new tool for that job. I would just give them what I knew I was good at. So when I have to slow down and try to learn something new, ultimately it makes me more focused, because I have to stop whatever I'm doing to try to zone in onto this one thing that I'm still not confident with. When you start exercising with things you're not confident with, you have to pour your all into it, because your reputation's on the line now. At least that's how it is for me. So when I want to do something, if you know me, I'm like, I dive all in. I jump in the deep end every single time, because I want to be good and I want to be good fast. So I want to just pour my all into that thing. So for me, the second takeaway is making sure that I find those times to just sit, crack open a notebook, maybe watch it on YouTube or some online course, and just learn, have somebody pour into me so that I can be a student again. Third takeaway is take time off. This is something I'm having the toughest time for, because I'll have a day off in my schedule. Somebody will hit me up and I'm like, you know what? I don't have any plans today. It's technically my day off, but I don't want to sit in the house. So let me just go make some money. Let me just go out, network, talk. And then now that I know it, I have another project, another thing to do, to check off. And I could have been sitting here making content for the people who are asking me questions like, hey, are you going to start? And it really bums me out, because I really do want to stay consistent with this thing. So I really didn't want this to become like a virtual diary online channel, but it's going to get me staying consistent, posting some things for you guys, and ultimately maybe, hopefully, creating some fun things, because I do have vlogs that I have been creating and I just haven't found the time or made the time to go back and edit it. I went to New York recently to film for New York Fashion Week, which was a great experience, but I've been wanting to show you guys. I just went to Cabo, which was a great experience, but I haven't been able to put it together for you guys. I have 3 other things that I'm traveling for, and I'm a Southern California videographer anyway, so there's a ton of stuff out here that I can just put my hands to, and I'm going to start getting into it. This just has to come out so I can have myself be more accountable to myself when I watch these videos. It inspires me to get back to it, and ultimately, hopefully, you guys find some value in what I'm bringing to you and what I'm telling you from my experience. Most importantly, and this is for me as well, is number 4, don't say yes to every job. I know this sounds weird, especially as a business, but when I say yes to every job, I'm literally saying no to my own time And I can't do that anymore because I have to be fully recharged before I go back into the world and try to create. I just have to. It's a good thing for you to recover before you get right back into the mix of things, because if you're not, the next job you get, they may be annoying, or because you're not all the way recovered and you took that time to yourself, you may get annoyed with people asking you the smallest things, and that just is not fair, not to them and not to yourself. So as a creative, list these things out. Hopefully they speak to you and they give you some insight as to what you should do when you are in the mix of creating constantly and you're not making the time for yourself, because that's more important than anything. You being yourself and you finding time to recover and restructure everything so that you can create, because that's what I'm trying to do. So hopefully this made sense to you guys. I hope that these tips will be something that you can utilize into your routine, especially as a creative business owner or whatever. And next time you see me, hopefully I'll have a vlog episode for you guys. But tap in next time. I'll see you then.